no microphone. Just
there's no microphone. We need to speak up. Who would like to start with questions? Yes.
In your study, you were mainly working with mentally expert using drama. Were you also working in the curricular area? We would call it technology as well, so that you could actually work that? Or is there a technology portion where they were actually designing and building and...
Oh no, we were designing by drawing, so that was integrated with visual arts.
Okay.
So when I say designing, it was designing by drawing, and then when I say build, we were using construction in art. So it was visual arts, it wasn't with technology. Okay. But it did integrate with our visual arts. Our visual arts is it's under the art strand in our primary curriculum.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a point of clarification?
Yeah. So this group, did they have children who had special needs and who didn't together?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I wanted to mirror the mix between children with and without SEN. Yeah. So it was a mixture of children who had special needs and who didn't. Yeah.
And how far on the spectrum were the autistic?
Well, they're verbal, and they are, I mean, I couldn't tell you like exactly pinpoint where they are, but they are functional. They're going to mainstream school, yeah, and they're verbal as well. Sorry, just to also say, the drama would have integrated with the literacy strand as well.
Science, of course, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, please. For the whole group as students, what's the most difficult part of the research process? Is it methodology? Is it analysis? Is it identifying the question? Is it limiting data? Like, as a general question for all of you, my experience is analysis with my students, so I'm just wondering if that's what you think.
I grappled with methodology for a long time, but because I haven't done the project, I don't think that's going to be my main challenge now as well. I think it's going to be, I would probably agree, the analysis side, and actually the actual planning the project to make sure that I can ask, how I'm going to ask the questions and in what way I'm going to ask those questions using the methodology.
I think for me it's identifying the question, because I had the opportunity to do the project right away. So I just jumped in, and I'm hoping that once I get into the data, the question will become more apparent. It's a bit like that, a little bit, yes. I think it's because I'm not too happy with the question I have right now. I think it needs to be clear, and I'm hoping that.
For me, it's been trying to establish, because my study will be practices research, but practice-led. And for me, it's been grappling with how that is actually going to manifest. And I've been sort of a little bit concerned about, does it still count if it's a process? I mean, it will count to me, I think, in the participants, but whether or not it counts out there as building up that manifesto together. And I'm still grappling with that. And so for me, it is that I deeply defend practices research, because as teachers, I think, and artists, that's what we do, so it makes sense to do it like that. But I'm kind of nervous about the reception of it. I think is it still going to be seen as robust? Yeah. I'm still working.
I'm kind of on the same page, because I've just, in PhD terms, just started, right, a year ago. So for me, I haven't done any analysis yet, so I can't say that. So for me, at the moment, it's just limiting distilling. There's so much literature out there, and I'm quite obsessed. I've got a little perfectionist problem. So everything needs to be in there, and I'm having a really hard time just distilling ideas in the literature and limiting that. It's doable, but it's very hard.
I've got a question that sort of popped up in my mind as I was listening to you talking about the choice of countries that you'd like to take it to. And thinking about my own Hungarian context and the very livid reaction to migration in Hungary. Why did you choose these particular countries which and why haven't you chosen other countries?
I would have loved to choose, again, here it comes, I would have gone to a lot more countries because I see the need for this kind of work in a lot more than these 4 countries, right? So Australia and New Zealand I find very interesting. I'm here now, I live here now, so that's one reason I am a migrant to this country, so I can position myself as well in this research. Australia and New Zealand, as post-colonial countries, I find interesting to juxtapose with two countries, and with very distinct takes on biculturalism or not, and indigenous rights. To find it interesting to juxtapose that with 2 places in, well, we can still say Europe, but soon not anymore, the UK and Germany. The UK, the former colonizer, in the middle of Brexit, that's very interesting to me. And my own home country, which is important to me because it's close to my heart, what the hell's going on there. And because I'd like to position myself as well in that research in my home country. And I find it fascinating in a sense that what will come out as well, because what's happening in Germany is our history, our Nazi past, our GDR, German Democratic Republic past. That's why I want to go to the East and the West. So I find it interesting to compare these places because they have very distinct discourses about migration, about refugees, and very distinct policies. But I would love to go to Hungary, but I think my supervisors will go. Another time. Yeah.
You're welcome to come to Canada too.
Yes, I would love to come to Canada. I've never been to Canada. I want to go.
Question, so the games or the workshop you're planning to do with the students involve part of the culture games? I mean, the traditions they might have in their home country, you know what I mean?
Not so much. So it's about using a picture book called Home and Away as a pretext, so as a it's not really a stimulus. It's more of it gives you the like soccer World Cup, Germany's out, but it's like you kick the ball, right? But where the ball goes, it doesn't. The pretext doesn't prompt. It doesn't decide that. And in that story, in that quite stylized picture book, a family which looks very much like you and me, quite white, they're quite Western, they're forced to seek refuge elsewhere because there's a war breaking out. So the young people will we'll start with that as a starting point. We'll see where it leads us. I will give them different provocations. So they will take on sometimes roles of the family members who have to flee, but also of the media, people from receiving nations. So it's going to be an in and out of role quite a lot, which is the nature, I guess, of process drama and of Leland's conventions approach. So it's not so much about the whole intercultural education thing as well, even to find out about another culture and then see what they do, which songs they say, so there's some understanding. I'm kind of trying to go beyond that and really look at critical multicultural education to deconstruct and construct identities and images and see why are we othering people like that and where does that come from? Especially because kids these days are in those filter bubbles, maybe more than us, I don't know. Well, I'm getting old. But anyway, that's me. Does that make sense? Does that make sense at all? So, yeah.
I wonder if any of you have questions for anyone else in the room. You know, now that they've heard your projects, what would you like to ask them?
Well, I have another question, sorry.
But I would about it.
For all of you, is during the conference, we've been talking a lot, of course, applied drama and that, but I wonder, for you in your own experience, what you take from that to the daily life? You know what I mean? Like, what do you apply for yourself in daily life from that applied drama? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking all the time in academic terms, but I guess we as tutors or researchers, what do we do? What is our maybe activism as applied drama tutors in our daily life?
And is that to anybody on the panel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was very obvious that I was bringing drama in education into my daily life, into my teaching, and into my classroom. And actually, just to go back to your question, I found that was my big challenge, was being so committed to my teaching job and my career. My teaching is so important to me, and also committing to my studies as well at the same time, and managing that. I think that is the biggest challenge when you're researching and you're working at the same time. And so for me, how has drama affected my daily life? It's bringing it into the classroom.
And outside the classroom?
Oh, in my personal life?
Yes, because I'm well not without too many details. What do we do in daily life? Like I'm finding out about violence, and I see Twitter, and I really feel the rage and the anger, like, oh, white people. But I said, okay, but how I take distance from that, because I don't want to be part of that. Actually, I'm trying to give another solution that is not just rage and try to insult everyone because doesn't agree with me or don't agree with me. So
I guess you just summed it up perfectly for me, for my personal situation. For years now, I've been very angry and very sad at the same time at the national populism rising, and now I'm starting to really see or try to deconstruct what's going on at the historical circumstance, for instance. Only recently, look younger than I am, but only recently I've realized, man, I'm from the West. I'm from West Germany. I was born when the war was still up. My life story and the privileges that I have had are not the same as someone who was born in the same year or earlier in the East. And now I'm like, oh, Aussies, all these Easties, yeah, like racist. It's like, hang on, in my own little language, I'm not saying that out loud. But that's it for me. I lost my train of thought now. But you summed it up perfectly for me, to transform that anger or that rage or that negativity into something productive for trying to understand the other, because I'm doing nothing but othering myself, aren't I? And having applied theatre, applied drama, of thinking about what I want to do in that field to help myself to calm down and deconstruct and think about the context.
Anyone else on the panel want to take that one?
Yeah, for me, it's been an absolute revelation. The way that applied theatre can permit an alternative reading, and so for me, I'm ashamed to admit that as a sort of past English teacher in secondary schools, critical literacy was never part of anything that I was encouraged to develop in my classroom, and strangely enough, it was theatre that got me to understand critical literacy, and then be able to return to that thing that I feel has empowered me to be able to read the environment around me. I love text, I read prolifically, but I now realise that I'm asking of myself, who's missing here? And sometimes I'm gobsmacked by my own assumptions still when I look at the world around us. I think, how did I miss that? And if I'd have thought about it in terms of an applied theatre context, it is educating me, and the sense that I have of that dialogic relationship that is made concrete, if you like, and embodied in what I do. I'm happy. I'm a happy learner inside, getting the joy of other people being suddenly able to say, oh, I realise there's someone missing here. Yeah.
I think in my context, it's been quite a battle to even have a chance to introduce the methodology and then to get it to have a chance to try it out and to play with it with student teachers. And my supervisors are at the university, that's separate from where I work, and my bosses at work have pulled me into numerous meetings, sometimes in the space of a couple of months, where I've had to sit down and explain to them what exactly, because I work at the Center for Oral Communications, I've had to explain, well, what does drama have to do with oral communication? And why is this work that you're doing? What is it exactly? We'd like to support you, but we need to understand what it is more. And I finally managed to get one of my bosses to come to a workshop that I organized a series of workshops, and she came about 3 months ago. So, and she gave it a good shot, and I think she's much more on board, but my other supervisor still hasn't come. So I guess what it's given me is a sense of it's something that I'm very passionate about, that I want to fight for, you were saying, it's something that you have an agenda, it's something you believe in, and as long as we're transparent about that agenda, that I think this methodology has potential and has a place in education, and I would like to try that out, play with that, and it's something I'm very passionate about. And sometimes it means I have to sit in meetings and feel very, very small, but maybe somewhere down the road that will help other people stand taller.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I think for me personally, applied theatre, it's about those moments of connection with the people that I work with, and what I learn about myself and how I think and about these other people through their stories, and sharing my stories with them, those moments in workshop. Often when I'm working in a workshop, when I'm running a workshop, there'll be this sort of this structure, this plan that we're following, but it's actually in the moments where we don't do the plan and we just sit and we let the kids talk and share with each other. It's in those moments that I see how much, I think that's what I take from applied theatre into my life, yeah.
And we're out of time. So again, we thank you for this.